Hi everyone, my name is Seldon Tenzing. I'm an entrepreneur in the field of travel, a certified life and a business coach, a speaker, and an author in making. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you've been finding value so far. I'm trying my best to come up every week with a valuable content that's going to help you level up in your own life. So, the topic for today is something that I'm very passionate about, and the topic itself is based on passion. So, here are the 4 things I'm going to deep dive into. First of all, what is passion? A lot of people get confused between the meaning of passion and what really it entails. So I'm going to deep dive into that. Second thing I'm going to also talk about is what are the different misconceptions about the topic of passion. Third thing I'm going to talk about is how can you even find your passion? So if you're somebody who wants to find your passion, I have an answer for you. And the fourth thing is how can you make a career out of passion? A lot of people like to have their passions, but they struggle to make a career out of it. So I just wanted to highlight a few tips and strategies that I can share with you, where you can make your passion a career as well. So if this topic sounds interesting to you, stick with me till the end. I promise you a lot of value, like I always do in every video. So shall we deep dive in? Okay, so like I said, let's understand first of all, what is the meaning of passion? A lot of people get confused between passion and interest and hobby. So for me, in my definition, passion is simple. In simple terms, if I have to break it, passion is something that I love doing. Okay, that is something. Passion is an emotion for me. It's an emotion that comes in from very deep within. It comes in literally from the bottom of my heart. And that's something I love doing. I love engaging on a daily basis. And I would even pursue it beyond money. Okay, so monetary aspect is not a major criteria for me. Of course, it's an important criteria, but it's not the only criteria. Passion is something that I would do it day in, day out, irrespective of money coming in or not coming in. So that is for me what passion is. Okay, and I don't know, check for yourself. Are you doing something that you enjoy every single day and don't even get burnout thinking about it? So that is what passion, in my definition, in simple terms, is what it is. And secondly, what I'm going to talk about is the misconceptions around passion. Okay, there are 5 things that what have I written? There are 5 things that I want to talk about. What is really passion made of? So the first thing I want to highlight is passion is not the same thing as hobby. Okay, passion is something that requires a more serious approach. Passion is something that asks for commitment. Hobby is something that you might do it today, tomorrow, for a week or a month or 6 months, and then you can give up, and and even if you don't do it, doesn't really matter. But passion is way more serious. It's way more intense. It's something that needs commitment. It demands for commitment. Okay, so there is a difference between hobby and passion. Second misconception I want to highlight is a lot of people think that passion is something that is going to come from inside all of a sudden at one point of time. It's like a miracle coming to you. It doesn't work like that. Passion, you will find your passion only when you do it. Okay? It does not come naturally to you. It doesn't come like the ceiling is not going to break and the passion is not going to fall in your lap. It is something that you figure out on the way. It's a journey. It's something that you start doing something and then you start analyzing whether am I really passionate about it or not. And there are times when you actually start doing something, you would realize that you may not be even passionate about it. It could be simply an interest or a hobby or a shiny object syndrome. You never know this, right? So passion is something that I want to highlight, is that it doesn't come naturally. It is something that you evolve into. Okay. Third thing that I want to highlight is that a lot of people think that there has to be one passion in life. That is incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. You can have multiple passions in life. You could be somebody like me. I have multiple passions in life. And just to share my own story, at one point of time, I was really passionate about dancing. I had a corporate job, full-time corporate career. Yet I was very passionate about dancing. I devoted a lot of time, energy. I had massive commitment to my professional dancing. So I was a professional dancer on the parallel side. I eventually even opened a studio. I started teaching. So I did a lot of those things. And today I'm passionate about coaching. Okay. Now, was I born as somebody who wanted to be a coach? Absolutely not. That's something that I evolved over the time. That's something that the moment I started to do it, I realized I was getting better and better, and something that I could make a difference in other people's life. It gave me a lot of fulfillment, happiness, and that's where I felt like, you know what? This is my passion. This is something that I don't get tired doing of. I can coach day and day night, 7 days a week, and I don't really feel tired at all. So your coaching, your passion could be more than one. The fourth thing that I want to highlight is that a lot of people think that you have to be naturally gifted to have a passion in life. That is again not true. Well, if you're gifted, very good. I mean, that's an additional gift that you've received. But it's not. I've realized it's not necessarily that you have to be like really good at what you're doing. I think. For me, like in my own journey, if I see, I like when I started into professional dancing, like I had to literally start from the scratch. I was somebody who couldn't even bend down and touch the floor, so I really had to struggle. I had to really work on myself extensively, have that serious level of commitment, and work hard towards where I really wanted to go. So professional dancing came to me like that, as well as coaching. Like I was never born thinking that, hey, you know what, I'm going to be the world's greatest coach today, tomorrow. And I never knew about coaching anyways, but it was a journey that I evolved into, and I decided to take it up as a career. And again, I knew nothing about the coaching world. This is something that I learned over the time. Again, it's through my own hard work and commitment. So don't think that you have to be very much talented, or you need to have a natural talent to follow your passion. If you have it, well and good, that's an added advantage. But if you don't, I mean, that's something that can be built over the time. So don't let it stop you from trying it out at least, right? And the fifth thing that I want to highlight, which is a very important thing, is a lot of people are saying that passion needs to be fun. It needs to be all about excitement and the good things. But passion actually comes with both the sides. There are some things, if you don't enjoy the hard parts of a passion, that means you're not passionate about. That means it's just a hobby or interest, because you just want to do it. That makes you, when you feel happy about it, or it makes you feel happy about it. That's not a passion. Passion is something, like I said, it requires serious commitment, and you should be willing to embrace the hard parts along with the good parts. Let me give you my own example. Like when I decided to be a professional dancer, I love the whole idea of the dance and the moves and performing on stages, etc. But what I really did not enjoy was a phase of working out day in, day night. And I still don't enjoy it, working out, but I had to do it. I had to embrace the hard part, because in order to reach that level, I knew I needed to have certain amount of flexibility. I needed to have certain amount of body strength. So that's where workout was very, very crucial, and I had to do it. Like I had to embrace the hard part. And coaching has its own challenges as well. So people just quit when it gets hard. And if you are somebody, if you're quitting when it's hard, that means you're not passionate about it. That means it's just a simple hobby or an interest, and like a time pass kind of a thing. So you're not passionate about it. So these are the things that I wanted to highlight, misconceptions around passion that I wanted to bring forward today. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Now, next, a lot of people ask me, how can I find my passion? Okay, they ask me, how can I find my passion? Now again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a game of self-awareness again. Okay, first is self-awareness. First is understanding who you are, what drives you. And that's where I think coaching is super essential, because that's where I, on personal basis, deep dive into aspects like what drives you, what is your foundation, what are your core values. And this is so important to understand yourself. So it's a game of self-awareness as well. So if you're somebody who's brand new, and you're somebody who doesn't know the ABC of what you want to do, so what I would really suggest to you, a simple exercise, is just take a piece of paper and write down everything that you enjoy doing. Okay, everything that you enjoy doing, irrespective of the monetary aspect. Don't think like, oh, how much money I'll earn. Just write down everything that you enjoy doing, and not just enjoy doing temporarily, but something that you might think that you would enjoy doing for the rest of your life. Okay, it's a long-term game. So just write down everything, and then once you've written down the list, and reevaluate the list, and try and identify your top 2 or 3 things that you think that you would really love to pursue for a long term, right? Once you've identified those 2 or 3 things, I think third step is to just go and do it. Okay, there is no other substitute of finding your passion by just sitting and sitting on your back and thinking, oh, it's going to come to me one day. It doesn't happen like that. You've got to do it and try it out in order to understand whether you're really passionate about it, or it's just something that you were interested as a hobby, or maybe it's a shiny object syndrome. And if you don't know what shiny object syndrome is, I have made a special video on it. Go check in my previous videos and you will find what that means. Okay? All right. So the final topic that I want to talk about is, a lot of people ask me is, how do I build a career out of my passion? There are some people who have found their passion. They know they're very passionate about. They love doing it, but there are times that there are obstacles on the way. There are times when they say, oh, you know what, I can't quit my job. If they're working professional, I can't quit my job because I have someone to, I have my family responsibilities. I just can't give that up. And I totally, totally, totally understand that. Okay. So I wanted to talk about these 5 things of how you can actually progress into building your passion as a professional career. Okay. And this is coming out of experience. This is something that I have personally done. So if I can do it, so can you. All right. So first of all, what I want to highlight is that there are times, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic that all passions don't pay. Okay. All passions cannot make the same amount of money that you might be craving for. So you've got to be realistic here. And you've got to be, again, aware, and you've got to do some kind of market research. You've got to understand, does this passion really has a long-term shelf life? Does this thing that I'm really interested in, are there more successful people who are already following it or doing it? Are they successful in their journey as well? And if you are able to find those people who are successful in that journey, then that is a very good evidence that you can also be successful, that the career path that you're willing to choose does have some kind of scope. Right? So that's first thing that you've got to analyze and figure out. Secondly, for those people who have a full-time job and then they have their responsibility, family responsibility, financial responsibility, I always tell people, you don't have to quit your job to pursue your passion. You don't need to quit your job. When I started professional dancing, I never quit my job. I was doing it on the parallel lines. So start somewhere. Start as a part-time. Your passion can be a part-time thing. We don't work 7 days a week, right? So we do have certain gaps in between. Utilize that time instead of, maybe cutting down hanging out with your friends, or maybe stop binging on your Netflix. You can find that time in order to invest in your passion. And I like to use this word, invest in your passion, because passion is something that is, for me, very crucial in life, because that's something which drives me every single day. It makes me happy. There's a sense of fulfillment that comes back to me. It makes your life worth living. Okay. So you've got to invest, find something, and you've got to invest in your passion. Use that extra time and see whether if it is really your passion again, or it is something like your hobby or interest or shiny object. So I would really, really recommend you to not quit your job and start as a part-time. I always tell this to everybody. And thirdly that I want to highlight is, once you have started doing it, let's say you've taken the plunge of starting a part-time passion that you're trying to do and you find that the things are not as per whatever you thought it would be, and many times it happens like that, right? Life doesn't work the way we want to. So if you find that your passion is not something that you originally thought it would be, that's okay. All right. I don't want you to be all devastated and like, okay, I can't find my passion. I think there might be slight disappointment, but that's okay. I want you to know that's the reality of life. I want you to pursue the next passion, the activity, the thing that you're interested in. Okay. You remember when I said make a list of everything you do, and then highlight or select the top 2 or 3 things that you would be interested in doing. So go to the second option. Okay. Just don't give up and think that the whole world has ended. Just move on to the second option. Okay. You never know. Maybe that might click for you. The fourth thing that I want to talk about is, let's say if you have found your passion, okay, you found something that you're really passionate about, it's driving you every single day, and you're doing it as a part-time currently, all right? So a lot of people ask me, when should I quit my job? So you should probably quit your job when your passion starts to make some level of money. Well, not just some level of money, but normally what I personally feel is, if your passion is paying at least 1.5 times to 2 times of what your current job is paying, that is a time that when you can take a decision of doing it as a full time. Okay, just don't start quitting your job just because it starts to give you some money. Again, simply because I understand that you have family responsibilities and you have EMIs and bills to pay. A lot of things in our life comes in, right? And then you also need to have an emergency fund in case somebody gets sick, health fund, etc. So for me personally, I feel like if it's able to replace 1.5 to 2 times of your current salary, then that's where you can take a decision of quitting. Okay. And lastly, I want to highlight is that if you're a person who does not have financial responsibility today, maybe you're just in your early 20s or mid 20s, you don't have a family, kids or anything. I think this is the best time to experiment. I would just say quit your job. If you're in a job, just quit your job and do the things that really drives you. This is a time to explore. This is a time to experiment, even make mistakes. And if you figure out if it's not working for you, you don't like it as a passion, that's fine. Just move on, but you have the ability to take risk. People who are in their early 20s have a lot more ability to take risks than the people that are in 30s or in 40s, right? So I hope this video was of value to you. It gives you more clarity about what passion is, the misconceptions around it, how you can find your passion, and how you can actually make a career if you would like to do that, right? So if you've seen value, thank you so much for watching. I would request you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and send in your comments, send in your questions. If there's any video that you would like me to deep dive in, I will be more than happy to do that. And for aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring budding growing entrepreneurs, I have a Facebook private VIP group. It's a closed group called the Entrepreneurology Hub. I would recommend you to join me there. Okay, and because I also love to deep dive into a lot into entrepreneurship, and that's like a closed group where we can have close discussions about the challenges in various entrepreneurship in the entrepreneurship journey. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.